Have you ever found the perfect house to flip, but your bank account just screams, no way? Yeah, it's a classic roadblock for so many real estate investors. But today, we're going to dig into a funding model that completely flips the script, one that lets you do a deal without a single dollar of your own money. Let's get into it.
So there it is, the one. The perfect property. It's got great bones, the fixes are mostly cosmetic, and you can just see the path to a healthy profit. You've got the whole project mapped out in your head. The only problem? Your bank account's empty. And that feeling, man, watching a golden opportunity just slip through your fingers, it is one of the most frustrating things for an investor.
Because it's never, ever just about the purchase price, is it? Nope. The cash crunch is a real beast. You're looking at this whole mountain of costs. You've got the actual rehab, the closing costs, the interest payments that are ticking away like a time bomb, and that's before you even think about insurance, utilities, and a little something tucked away for those oops moments. All of that can kill a great deal before it even starts. So how in the world do you leap over that giant financial hurdle? Well, the answer we're talking about today isn't a traditional loan. It's not about taking on more debt. It's actually a completely different way of thinking. It's about finding a strategic partner. And this really gets to the heart of it. On one side, you've got your typical hard money loan. That's pure debt. You owe the lender, the interest payments are high, and all the risk, 100% of it, is sitting squarely on your shoulders. But on the other side, you've got a joint venture. That's equity. It's not about borrowing, it's about partnering. You share the risk, and you share the reward. And that, my friends, is a total game changer. So what exactly is a joint venture, or a JV, in this context? Just think of it like creating a temporary pop-up business for one single deal. It's simple. You bring your expertise. You're the one who finds the great deal and knows how to manage the project. Your partner brings the one thing you don't have, all the cash. And that brings us to the company from our source material, Creative Transaction Funding, or CTF for short. They're the ones who step into that role of the financial partner. They literally bring 100% of the cash needed to the table for the entire deal. They're basically your rich uncle for the project. Okay, so how does this all actually work in the real world? It might sound kind of complicated, but it's actually a surprisingly clean and, well, elegant process. It takes you from being partners at the closing table to you becoming the sole owner of that property almost instantly. Let's break it down. So it all happens in 5 key steps. First, you do your part. You find a simple lipstick rehab deal with really good margins. Step 2, CTF comes in and funds everything, 100%. Step 3, a temporary joint venture is formed just to buy the property. Step 4, escrow closes, the deal is done. And then, and this is the really cool part, that JV immediately dissolves. Just like that, you are the sole owner of the property. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, if the partnership dissolves, how does the money partner stay protected? Well, this is the clever bit. Their equity, their ownership stake, gets converted into something called a promissory note. It's basically a formal IOU that's secured by the property itself. So they're not a co-owner anymore, but they are still in the first-in-line position to get paid back when that house sells. All right, you've bought the house, you've fixed it up, and you've sold it. The hard work is over. Now for the best part, the payout. This is where this partnership model really shines. Let's take a look at how the profits actually get split up. You can't get much simpler or cleaner than this. It's a 50-50 split right down the middle. You brought the deal, the hustle, the expertise. They brought the cash. You are true partners, and you share in the success equally. No complicated math, no weird fees, just a straightforward split. But let's be super clear about which profit we're splitting. We're talking about net profit. Here's how to think about it. Every single dollar that went into the deal, all the money funded by your partner, gets paid back first, right from the sale price. The 50-50 split only happens on what's left over after that, the pure, clean profit. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty with some numbers. This is where you can really see just how powerful this model is. We're going to walk through a real-world example of how the money flows, from the very first dollar funded to the final check in your hand. So every good flip starts with a target, right? For this deal, our after-repair value, or ARV, is a nice round $500,000. That's the price we're aiming to sell the house for after we've worked our magic and made it shine. That number is what drives the whole deal. And this slide really lays it all out, total transparency. CTF covers everything, the purchase, the rehab, all those little carrying costs. And that note discount you see there, that's basically their fee for putting the whole thing together, and it's all baked right into the funding. So in this example, the partner's total cash into the deal is $367,000. So fast forward. The work is done, you've listed the house, and boom, it's sold. You hit your target price perfectly, $500,000. That cash is now sitting in escrow, just waiting to be carved up. All right, first things first. Before anyone even thinks about profit, the first check that gets cut from that $500,000 sale is to pay back the partner's total investment. That's the $367,000 that made this entire deal possible to begin with. So you subtract the costs from the sale price, and what does that leave you with? A very tidy gross profit of $133,000. This is the payoff. This is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Now, let's split it. And here's the beautiful, simple conclusion, that $133,000 gets split right down the middle, 50-50. You walk away with a check for $66,500, and your financial partner walks away with the exact same amount. Everybody wins. It's a perfect alignment. So let's just step back and look at what you accomplished here. You invested $0 of your own money. You became the sole owner of the property and had full control over the project, and you walked away with a profit of over $66,000. That is the power of this kind of partnership. You know, this whole model really flips the old way of thinking on its head. It suggests that success isn't just about how much capital you have, it's about how good you are at finding a great deal. It's a fundamental shift from borrowing to partnering. So the big question this leaves us with is this: could finding the right partner, not the right loan, be the real key to finally unlocking your real estate ambitions?